Hey everybody, this review is on the comedy movie Good Boys. So the plot of this movie is there are these three kids, Max played by Jacob Tremblay, Thor, and Lucas, and they're not very popular and they really want to, fit in with all the cool kids, so they want to attend a party. And of course, it's kind of a edgy party, and they want to know how to kiss and a bunch of other stuff and you know, all the kind of stuff that kind of cool kids do, like pretty much anything like most teenagers would do. So they go around trying to find out how to kiss because that's kind of the big thing they try to accomplish. And they have a drone that they do to spy on some other people, but the drone gets lost, so they have to retrieve it before anyone finds out. And of course, the drone was belonged to Max's dad, and of course, played by Will Forte, and of course, he doesn't want him touching it, so they have to retrieve it before he finds out, and a whole bunch of chaos ensues. This was a funny movie. I really enjoyed this one. It's pretty much at first glance you kind of have an idea of what kind of movie this is going to be. A bunch of kids, cussing or trying to figure out, how to kiss and, all the kind of stuff that teenagers would most want to do. You would think that joke gets really old. And yeah, I can see how, like, somebody would think that, thinking it's just another comedy that's edgy for the sake of being edgy. Something like Santa Inc. or Peacemaker or something where they just say sexual stuff every 5 seconds. Like, no, but actually, it works in the context of the story because the whole story is that it revolves around these three boys who are, of course, elementary school kids, and obviously they're really young and inexperienced. So the fact that they're really, innocent and naive towards this kind of stuff really adds to the comedy. Because if this movie wasn't about children, this movie wouldn't have worked. But the fact that it really helps with the story and uh, scenarios that they get involved in really adds up. Like, there's a part where where Max finds weapons in his parents' closet, and they're just sex toys. And of course, they're very innocent and don't know what to do, and it's really funny. Like, it's just funny thinking, oh, they don't know what's up. Or yeah, I guess this isn't really a I guess if you don't want the final scene revealed, it's not really the ending. It's just the joke that ends the movie, where they find a swing set in their parents' room, and then Max's sister comes and says, "That's a sex swing. People have sex on that," and they all look at each other. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, the reactions these kids get to lots of these kind of stuff is really funny, and like all three of the kids are really good. Like, for child actors, I mean. And then again, Jacob Tremblay is a really good actor for his age. He's in a lot of great stuff, and I do really like him in a lot of stuff. And here he's quite funny, and he works great with the other two boys. And that's the thing about this movie. Like, it's really focused on friendship. Yeah, they kind of do the third act breakup. Everyone always talks about that they do in animated movies, but given this movie is about friendship, it really adds to the conflict of what these kids go through. And and they're just kids, they don't really know any better. Of course, they're going to get into some trouble and they're going to blame each other for them. We've all had times like that. And it's definitely a very funny film. It's definitely very amusing. It's just a fun time. Like, obviously, it's nothing spectacular, but it's still really enjoyable and very funny, and it it really helps. Like, it takes a joke, like a concept that you would think would get old after 5 minutes, but because of the really good characters and the amazing acting from the children, and even some great messages about friendship, it really makes for a really enjoyable, solid comedy. And I think it's very funny. And if you haven't seen it, I think it's worth checking out. If you're just in the mood for a laugh, or if you're one of those kinds of people who just wants to see, kids acting like children. Because yeah, the whole thing about kids, like, figuring out, what sex toys are, what porn is, like, obviously it's not really effective because, like it or not, that's how kids act in real life. So the joke's not as effective, but it's still really music. Obviously, it's just a movie. It's not real life, so obviously, I guess you can't really connect it to reality that much. So, but Good Boys is a funny movie. If you're just in the mood for a laugh this weekend, I'd say it's worth watching. So, that's my review of Good Boys. So, I'll catch you later.